Hello and welcome to Political Bazaar. I'm Viju Cherian and with me I have two special guests. Pallavi Ghosh, the Senior Editor Politics, CNN News 18 and Gaurav Choudhury, the Deputy Executive Editor, Moneycontrol. Today we will be talking about the Congress. If this election was as much a landslide victory for the BJP, we also have to discuss the Congress's story. Pallavi, the Congress from 2014, 44 seats to 51 this time. What happened to the Congress according to you?
I think it was largely a negative campaign that they ran. It seemed very disorganized because one day, Rahul Gandhi would talk about Rafale. Then suddenly they came out with what they call the out-of-box idea of NYAY. They could not sell it because, I remember when I was traveling, say, to Amethi, and that's constituency of Rahul Gandhi. You never understood what was NYAY all about. I spoke to a lot of people, they hadn't even heard of NYAY. And even those who had heard of it, did not even understand what NYAY was all about. So we were not able to sell their flagship programs. And they never took a leaf out of that lesson which I think Advani learned in 2009. That weak Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh had boomeranged on them. And they ran a sustained negative campaign. It was too anti-Modi, nothing about what they were offering to the people. I think all of that mixed up and worked against them.
Gaurav, we've talked about this earlier as well. NYAY, do you think the Congress did not give the push that, in a way, you could sense that the Congress itself did not believe in it?
No, the Congress probably believed in it, and they would have probably, hammered out the contours of the program.
No, what I said was they didn't go to town. They didn't go to town with
it. So in the middle of the election, somewhere around the fourth phase, they stopped talking about it. And that is something only the Congress's campaign strategists will be able to tell us why. Mm-hmm. But if they strongly believed in this, if they strongly believed that NYAY was a game changer, they should have stuck to it. And they should have, to a large extent, the Congress lost the communication battle completely. And they turned it into some kind of a presidential referendum, which the BJP actually wanted it to, because on the other side, there was no presidential candidate, as it were. And by, as Pallavi said, by launching a negative campaign around Narendra Modi, they only helped the BJP's cause.
Pallavi, you've been tracking Congress all the while. Yeah, is there a chance for a leadership change now that, this is the second major defeat, 2014 and now this one? And there are reports that Rahul has put in his papers and the CWC will take a call tomorrow.
Yes, CWC is going to take a call tomorrow. And see, Raj Babbar, for example, has already offered to resign. Now, what will they do? If they accept his resignation, then someone is going to ask this question, why just him? Why not Rahul Gandhi? See, there is a Tina factor within the Congress party. They've never been bothered to raise a second line of leadership. Suppose Rahul Gandhi insists, I'm going to resign and it has to be accepted. Who in his place? No one else will be acceptable. For example, if a Chidambaram is made a Congress president, just for argument's sake, will the others listen to him? No. So that's going to be perhaps the only reason why he'll stick on. I mean, Priyanka Gandhi cannot be made a Congress president. Sonia Gandhi cannot now again become the Congress president. I don't know. I mean, what will they do?
How does it pan out?
So, one of the questions that I would like to ask Pallavi, and she has been tracking Congress for a long time, is that what happens to the strategists? Praveen Chakravarti, for instance, or those who came out with the NYAY scheme and others, those who were considered to be outsiders by many from within the Congress, what happens to them?
They are going to be gunned by the insiders within the Congress party. Now, Rahul Gandhi will have to take a call. The fact is that large number of people were feeling left out. So much so, I would say, even within the communication department, say someone like Randeep Surjewala, he midway was taken away the charge of, say handling TV interviews of Rahul Gandhi. That anger is there. And you're right about the communications. I mean, they think giving big bang interviews in the front of a huge crowd, which is good pictures, and getting very cocky and funny on the social media would help them win elections. No, communications is beyond that. I mean, NYAY, you cannot communicate. You have to speak to the agencies who were given charge of communicating. They scratch their heads. Every morning we would send them messages. They would not react. So there's an anger against the Praveen Chakravartis and the Nikhil Alvas, the coterie of Rahul Gandhi. Now, if Rahul really wants to get on track, he has to hit the ground and he really needs to get grounded leaders.
Let's talk about Amethi, the big upset, one of the big upsets this election. Congress bastion for so many years. Rahul is not the first Gandhi family member to lose from Amethi, but definitely Rahul is the president of the Congress party when he's losing Amethi. Is this really a shock even for the party, and
I think it's a bigger shock for them than getting those 51 or 52 seats. It's a huge jolt. It's a hit at the whole legacy issue which the Gandhis tried to push. Ki mera baap, meri maa, meri dadi. I mean, that's a Gandhi family pocketbook. They are bastion. You've lost it. And I would completely blame them. Actually, to be very honest, even I didn't see this coming like this. The fact is that she was at it. She was a disruptor. So she had to walk that extra mile. She did. She knew people gaon mein jati thi. She would meet them. Rahul Gandhi would come in. I mean, I remember I asked one senior team member of Rahul Gandhi, why isn't he going to Amethi in these elections? He said, why does he even need to go to Amethi? This complacence, this false sense of bravado, I think that really pulled him down.
Gaurav, we talked about this. In 2014, we thought he won, his margin had reduced, but we said that it could be because there was a three-way fight over there. But this time it was a bipolar contest, and Smriti won hands down. Do you think the Congress in many ways were complacent? They took it for granted?
Yeah, absolutely. As Pallavi said, they paid a huge price for this complacency. But the interesting thing to watch out for this time in Parliament in Lok Sabha would be what kind of opposition's role does the Congress play? Because this is the second time that
they won't be an LOP.
They have lost with such a bad margin, and this time Smriti Irani is a Lok Sabha winner. She's a winner, and she'll probably get a very meaty portfolio. She'll be sitting on the other side. And what is the kind of role that the Congress will play as an opposition is something that's going to be interesting to watch out for.
Another important thing that we have to discuss is the Congress governments, the assembly segments that it has: Punjab, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Karnataka. The coalition it is there. Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, there's a lot of rumble happening over there. How do you see it?
Classic case about how they lost it back home. I mean, look at Karnataka. In the midst of elections, you're fighting with each other. Look at Rajasthan. I mean, there are complaints which were coming in and inputs were given to Rahul Gandhi that, he's only concentrating on his son, Vaibhav Gehlot. All the cabinet ministers are sitting over there. He's not bothered about the candidate. Vaibhav Gehlot lost. All the 25 seats were lost. See, it's going to have an impact, particularly, I think, immediately on Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh hinges on those 4 independents, 1 BSP. At some point of time, I think Mamata Banerjee and Mayawati will blame the Congress party for this performance. And Mayawati may, in all her anger, say, okay, I'm pulling support. Then the government falls.
The Madhya Pradesh government. They won Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan in December. It was, you actually unseated popular BJP chief ministers over there. And a few months down the line, this is what happened.
Yeah, so the interesting thing and it's a disappointing thing so far as Congress is concerned, they've managed to oust the incumbent BJP governments in all the 3 states, riding on rural angst. And when they're actually going to town during the Lok Sabha elections came, they didn't turn it into an issue. Rural angst, rural distress is there. It's there for everyone to see. It was for the Congress to make it an electoral issue. If there are no jobs, then unemployment situation clearly is very dire. But Congress leaders were not seen talking about or not heard talking about jobs, about rural angst, about rural distress. And this came 3 months after they actually...
Or do you think anti-incumbency set in pretty fast? They got disillusioned by the government, state governance?
I would not think so. If that was the case, then they probably played out in Punjab more than any of these states. They did reasonably well in Punjab. And what explains, it's perplexing that somebody like a Jyotiraditta Scindia actually loses by more than 1 lakh votes. Why does he lose?
In Rajasthan, when Ashok Gehlot was made the chief minister, it was said that, making him the chief minister would help in the Lok Sabha elections. Do you think, because when there was a toss between Sachin Pilot and Gehlot, you think now they're going to reconsider that?
I don't know how much they'll reconsider, because then again it brings back to the whole issue of accountability. Okay. You're going to hold Gehlot accountable and not hold Rahul Gandhi accountable. How do you do that? But yes, I don't see Pilot keeping quiet. I'm sure at some point of time, Pilot is going to make the point. You denied me my opportunity. I was there as a PCC chief for 4.5 years. Gehlot was not there. I've made my inroads with the MLAs. And you denied me on the grounds that Gehlot can deliver. I can't. He hasn't delivered. Why don't you hold accountable? So it's going to be a very difficult call really for Rahul Gandhi to take.
If you were to give an advice to the Congress, or if you were to think what they were going to do, what would you think it would be?
They have to fix accountability, at least seem to be fixing some accountability. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult road ahead for them.
How about you?
Yes, hit the roads. Get back to politics. Get real. Just slogans, big talk, boardroom management, this laptop politics will really have to stop. They've been doing it for such a long time, they really need to stop doing that.
Congress should stop its laptop politics. It should hit the ground and establish a connect with the people. In the days ahead, we'll get to know whether there's a leadership change or not, For more news and updates, stay tuned to moneycontrol.com.